actually talk to you about mucus in your body. And just like what the title says, understanding what Dr. Sebi meant when the actually mucus into your body. Because a few people have called me and asked me about Dr. Sebi's alkaline diet, some hybrid foods and foods that will cause mucus, and trying to understand what he meant when he was talking about mucus. So I decided to actually do a video on actually helping you understand what Dr. Sebi meant about mucus in your body, because I 100% agree with Dr. Sebi when it comes to mucus in your body, because he actually knew 100% what he was talking about. That's one of my teachers that I actually follow and learn from, along the other one, Layla Africa, and actually some other herbalists. When you understand the actual learning holistic and actually how to heal the body, you're going to hear about inflammation, mucus, you're going to hear about the cells, you're going to hear about Mother Nature, you're going to talk about herbs and how to measure them. That's what you're going to, by default, you're going to know about how to help the body and take care of the body, because it's dealing with the organs and the bloods and all that. So, them doctors, shame on them. But anyways, let's go ahead and go into this right now to help you understand what he was talking about when it comes to mucus. Because a lot of us have a misconception thinking that mucus is bad, okay? It's not bad. It's what you're doing to your body that makes the mucus in your body, hear what I said, the mucus in your body, bad. Because your body produces mucus anyway, and it produces a lot of it. You don't feel it because it's like a thin layer. It's like it's not so much that you're gonna feel it and whatnot. Only when you have like a cold. Most of you get that cold and you have phlegm or runny nose, or some of you people out there be getting them eye infections, and you be like thinking that it's just like a little sticky thing coming out. That's mucus trying to come out there. Mucus is trying to get rid of anything that don't belong in your body. It traps stuff that belongs in your body. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Okay, the role of mucus in the body. Number one, it produces by mucus cells among the lining of organs. Okay, that would be the inside the intestinal tract. That's the respiratory tract, the small intestines, the large intestines, and the eyelids. And it also, like it said, the lining of the organs. So your liver, your lungs, your pancreas, your kidney, it has a slope of mucus above it protecting it, okay? It's going to protect it from any BS that tries to attach to it and hang out. It's going to let it slide right off of there and get going, okay? Get out of my body. Inside your nose, it's a protection up in there. That's why some of y'all, we flushing out with mucus out your nose, and sometimes we get a cold, you're doing it in the sink, in the shower, in some tissue. You're going to get that mucus out of there because your body's trying to get it out of there. You're just helping it along, okay? So anyway, number two, mucus is produced to protect the mucus ring. That's all up in your body, the mucus ring. It's protecting, okay? It's protecting. It's a protection piece, okay? So I have to help you understand that why mucus is in your body. So you need to understand that mucus changes its consistency. There's two things that happen. You can either put mucus in your body, or you could change the consistency of the mucus in your body. And most of the time, the consistency is changing by irritation, okay? So let's find out what irritation is that changes the consistency of the mucus that's already in your body. And it goes from thin to thick. Okay, number three, excess mucus occurs when there is irritation stimulation. Irritation stimulation. And what is that? Dust, pollution, smoke, chemicals. And I wrote this on the side because I don't know if you can see at the bottom. Chemicals, viruses, food allergens, and food adjectives like preservatives and all that extra stuff that they put inside the food, and glucose syrups and all that. We already know that they put chemicals and whatnot in the food, GMOs inside the food. So you have to understand that that's all that. And then the air, dust, pollution, and people that smoke and the smoke that's all over the place. So all of this is going to irritate your mucus brains, okay? All this right here. And that's all around us right there. Bam, bam, bam. And then the chemicals is all up in the food, okay? So when somebody else catches some viruses, that's bothering your mucus brain. So how do you make sure your body stays a super machine and that it's being protected from all the mucus that is all around you, in the stores and outside. That's where that alkaline diet comes in, okay? That's why that actually food that you put in your body to make sure that it doesn't go from thin to thick. So what's the other thing that I was talking about? There's actually food out there, for sure. I can name some right now, two off the top. Ice cream, milk, and the fat from beef. You know what I'm saying? When you're buying them burgers and whatnot at the fast food place and whatnot, and you're eating this genetically modified cow, it's pus in that cow. It's a lot of pus in the milk and the ice cream. So you're putting mucus in your body when you're doing it that way. That's off the top. So understand that for sure, okay? So they say milk gets a bad rep. It does get a bad rep because of where it's actually coming from. Somebody said one time that the food is not bad. It's just that your body has a hard time digesting it, and then it affects the mucus in your body. Well, hold on. If the food is bad, if the food is not bad, but it's having a hard time digesting it, if my body is having a hard time digesting this food and it creates more mucus in my body, or the mucus gets thicker, the food that I'm eating is bad. So miss me with that. So anyway, let me talk about right here, excessive mucus produced in the body starts to overwork the mucous membrane. Main foods that produce too much mucus in your body. Let me help you understand. All corns products, wheat products, all soy products, sugar products, that's them cakes, cookies. That's my vice right there. You know, I used to love to bake and cook cakes and whatnot. That was my thing. People would come over just to get my cookies and cakes and whatnot. So I stopped baking cookies and cakes until I learned how to use different raw sweeteners and whatnot that won't affect my body with mucus and whatnot. Because every time I would eat my little cakes and cookies, the mucus would overwork. Because I like to eat them and I like to enjoy it and whatever, because I don't eat it a lot. So when I would make them bad boys like once or every 2 weeks or whatnot, I would go in the paint eating these cakes that I made. And when I would eat them like 2 and 3 cakes in one day, slices, the next day, mucus. The mucus already in my body, it got thicker. I'm like, oh man, throat get tired. You know, and I would have to spit a lot of phlegm out and whatnot. Blow it out my nose. I'm like, oh man, too much sugar. So I had to slow down my intake on sugar. You got to know what your intake is and what you're doing wrong to your body. So I don't make cookies and cakes much at all. Everybody got their vices. I know people around here that I live with, my loved ones, they love coffee. Drink 2 and 3 cups, sometimes 5 cups a day. Okay? That's on the list, you know. But anyways, caffeine. So anyway, fried foods, meats, you know, there you go, that meat, caffeine, alcohol, processed food, eggs. That's pretty much everything. So you're saying, what's left? What's left to eat? Well, only thing that's really left to eat is, that's why Dr. Sebi was talking about what? Fruits and vegetables. Now, there's charts out there floating on the line talking about the 80-20 rule. I even have that on my actual website, actually breaking down that everything is not catered to exactly what Dr. Sebi was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to live in a bubble and whatnot. But I know exactly what the body can take in and what it can't take in. You know, it wants to stay at the level of a neutral state. It don't want to be alkaline, but neutral. But you're eating so much acidic food. You flip the chart, or you flip the actual, what is it called, the mother nature state, or the body state, this temple actually, this flesh right now, wants to stay in that like 7.1, between 7.1 and 7.5. It likes to stay right there, neutral. So anything that's below that, your blood likes to be above 7. It don't want to be alkaline, but you're eating so much acidic food, you're going to come down with the disease. So when you come down with the disease, when you raise the alkaline pH state in your body and electrify the body, what happens? You boost your immune system. What happens? You cleanse your system. What happens? Your body actually goes to its superior super state, which is where it wants to be anyway. And that's why Dr. Sebi was so successful healing people, okay, of their diseases. So you'll hear them say some things like this right here. That's, boy, you just having a blast. So you will hear people say stuff like this. When you go to the doctor, they'll tell you that you have actually pneumonia. That's mucus in your lungs, okay? So you'll hear them say something like that you have actual diabetes. That's actual mucus in your pancreatic ducts, okay? You hear them say something like you have actually Alzheimer's. That's mucus in your brain. So Dr. Sebi was trying to help you understand whatever they told you you had, that's where mucus was. And all you needed to do was make sure you rid your body of the mucus, and it will actually reverse that issue or that ailment that you had. So your joints, if they told you that you had arthritis, they like to use the made up words that they make up instead of just telling you what it is. They know what it is. You know, that's mucus in your actual joints and whatnot. So you have to understand bronchitis issues and whatever. It's mucus trapped in the brachial tubes. So that's what Dr. Sebi was trying to understand. It goes on and on with more details and everything, but you have to understand that you even got what is called excess mucus from all these years and years and years of eating mucus food and pus and whatnot, and irritating the mucus from thin to thick in your body, that it actually does what? It gets caught up in your intestinal tract.